Marol se fukuia I le fionga I te ta ia a me se fo ia le su titia mo le matanga fifo ni tau le do fo le tua le peta a pe ia le famumua le me fani tanga I patuli. Watu fo ia fa talo fo I le finga le ia le tua mis mami tina ma tua lo fa fo mai. O fe la va na le fa fo mai ta po ko ni sa tine ma di ma se America. Wa fo do si le fi no le tupu I le fi vain a fia yo ta tangata ia a te tia ta to po kami ta au nei o fi fia fo ia ni po I ofisa o no mo sa ba no se ta si po I te mai ta I ta o te le na du na tino Pasifika o lo na sua fo Eddie Martinez Roman se ta si o lo ia a mo ran fa no fo I a fa fo mai JP I tulang whanoia I ka pena po I mana na whapa o le PhD ia I tulanga o le atamai o Telestone o Universite. Malama mata noa tulanga o waianga o le territory tu se lima territory vena seta Amerika ia Amerika Samoa, Guam, Northern Mariana Islands, Puerto Rico ma US Virgin Islands. No Eddie Martinez Roman o se loia ma se professor ma territory Puerto Rico. O ia na whaavaina ma se lo ia mai Guam suaka ia Nearware Society non-profit organization that with the rights to democracy o le ofisa fo I lea o lo fautuaina le lo ia po le afianga ia tawa Charles ala lima ma o so o uma territory o na malanga mga luele ni futa na ita ilo adi ai mai se level territory a mito Samoa na tele o so wa inga va politika li na tete o mai ai le ne lo ia malana porto fa pitoa isu anga o ia o tangata Amerika Samoa o tangata Samoa le tole ina tete e manino lo fo mita upu pe mai ta tangata ma la le la fono ma piango swingo la fono lo ia ni ta tangata ¿cómo está? Aloha, Talfalava, Eddie, Roman, for, gracing us with your presence on Radio Samoa, Talfalava.
Saludos, saludos, mi gente. Saludos. Hi, Ken. How are you? So my name is Adi. Martinez is my father's last name and Roman is my mother. In Puerto Rico, we use both our last names.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Samoans used to do that too. But
Okay.
when the missionaries came in and white people, they wanted to make it simple. So we actually used we used to use our father's first name. So if my father is, let's just say, for example, Banana, I would be Ken Banana, and my kids will use my first name. So they will say, let's say my kid is Tom. It will say Tom Ken. That's how it went. Not like now, but I guess for for administrative purposes, when we start getting all the records and they wanted to streamline all that process. I'm not sure. Is that how Puerto Rico was?
Well, Puerto Rico was influenced by Spanish. So in the Spanish era, when we were a colony of Spain, they used both mother and father last names. And then when the U.S. came, they tried to make us switch to English and to change some of our ways. They were not able to. And so today we still use Spanish. It's our main language in Puerto Rico. And also we still use that both our last names to difference from each other because there might be several Maria Perez Lopez. And so having both last names make you at least a little bit different from the other Marias Perez. So I think it's useful. Also, we don't lose when we marry. I don't have to use my husband's last name. I stay with my two last names, normal. So that's another thing that we kept from the Spanish. But yeah. You know,
Wow.
it's like how Charles Alay Lima says, culture
Hmm.
is always changing.
Hmm.
And we have been colonized twice in Puerto Rico, so we're always finding different ways of resisting and adapting our cultures to survive.
Samoa has been colonized so many times I cannot even count. From uh,
Yep, that's the
France,
history.
yeah, to Germany, to English, to United Kingdom, to German, New Zealand, United States. You can go on and on.
But at least you kept your language, and that is
Yeah,
very admirable.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mentioned it in Samoan. You're a lawyer, a law school professor. You worked in the university level for so long, improving the lives of your own people. You have dedicated your life to improve the lives of the marginalized, especially the U.S. territories. A true warrior for social justice, civil rights, and advocate for U.S. territories. Why have you decided to do that?
Well, while I was searching for answers, I'm actually a lawyer because I wanted to know how to change things for the better, and not because I wanted to litigate. So I ended up doing a doctorate degree in Spain on fundamental rights, human rights. And one of the things that I discover is like for human rights or fundamental rights to become real, people have to have agency. They have to be able to participate in the processes and the governance that takes place for those human rights to be real. If not, it's always going to be controlled by a few. And so I have dedicated 20 years of my life to community lawyering, trying to empower community leaders and trying to empower organizations to have agency in the decision making processes of things that affect their communities. And so, not only local government, but also federal government. And after Hurricanes Irma and Maria, that really hit Puerto Rico really badly,
Yeah.
it was a very catastrophic and traumatic experience. I became an advocate for a better recovery process for Puerto Rico. And when I went to Washington to work for a few years with Oxfam America as senior policy analyst for Puerto Rico, I discovered that this wall of being a non-incorporated territory of the US, which means that we are under plenary power of Congress, but also means that we are invisible to the decision makers. And so when decisions are made about disaster recovery, when decisions are made about programs, our needs are really not taken into account. And so that wall of not having political accountability, of not being consulted, of everything being imposed on us, and we have to accommodate in order to be able to participate, uh, that really moved me when Neil Weir called me on December of 2022 to explore the possibility of creating a new organization. And this new organization would try to build a movement across the territories to to have the US reckon with this reality that it treats non incorporated territories in an unilateral way. And so that's why I decided to team up with Neil on this effort.
Oh, awesome, awesome. And I one of the reasons why I wanted to ask you to come on Radio Sun was because I wanted you to speak on the effects of what's going on right now. There's so much political stuff that's going on. And it's not just this year, it's been going on for many years. But in particular, what's going on with executive orders that affects the Pacific Islanders, especially American Samoans and also Samoans in the United States. Can you speak on that?
Yes, there has been, as everybody knows, a series of actions from the new federal government that directly affects the territories. We're still, because it has been so much different decisions, we're still exploring all these effects of the different actions that have taken place and are taking place. But one of the ones that it was very important for us to support was the executive order signed by the president to open the waters of the Pacific territories and to seabed mining, deep seabed mining. And of course, there have been amazing advocates from American Samoa that we know them from our work of having conversations with the people from the different territories. We know these advocates, and they brought to our attention that there was actually a proposal for deep seabed mining in American Samoa, that this order was imposed on American Samoans, the possibility of a private company to do deep seabed mining to extract these minerals that everybody's looking for now because of technology, right? And
Mm-hmm.
uh, and so there is all these commercial interest in these minerals, and this order, these advocates really explained, was not consulted in a proper way the effects that it would have, the very detrimental effects that it will have on the oceans of American Samoa. And this could happen to any of us, because once they order to open, they're going to accept all these proposals. The Bureau of the Management of the Oceans is taking comments now, but it's taking comments because of the advocacy of the Samoan people to learn more about the damages. But it was because of the advocacy. And so we decided, because we have a cross territorial coalition that we created on 2023 in the summit that you went to in New York City. And this cross territorial coalition is with people of all the non-incorporated territories, which you mentioned: Guam, Northern Mariana Islands, and American Samoa in the Pacific, and Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands in the Caribbean. And we have leaders from all these territories. And when we brought forth that this was happening to American Samoans, where you have deep seabed mining proposal that is not taking into account that the people of American Samoa don't want it, that they want to have more participation in the decision making of this project, because it will affect their livelihood in the ocean, it will affect their oceans. Is such an integral part of our lives, Ken. And you know this because we're archipelagos and our indigenous people live from the ocean. And if you affect the ocean, you're going to affect everything for us. And so we decided to support, uh, to do a petition to support the opposition to this imposition of deep seabed mining in American Samoa without the participation of American Samoa. And it's the imposition of this type of commercial activity also uh, is an imposition on the damages that it will cause, but it's also an imposition of not participating in the economic results of whatever industry happens, because the people that are going to take away the advantage, the economic advantage, is not going to be Samoans. And so in that sense, it's a double imposition. It's an imposition of the bad results, and it's an imposition of not participating in the economic advantage of an industry. And so we did this petition with the help of the people from America the Beautiful for All, that are collaborating with us in Right to Democracy, trying to work on protecting and giving voice to the territories on issues on the environment, because issues of the environment and climate are very tied with the issues of the lack of democracy, as we have seen in American Samoa. And so this petition, we have already garnered more than 650 signatures from the 5 U.S. territories. And I have to say that we have had a lot of support from each of the territories, especially from Guam. Guam people are very much alive and supporting you all in the Pacific.
Nice, awesome. Samoans who are listening, Addie, if they care enough about their environment, what are the concrete actions that they need to do now?
So the Bureau of Management of the Oceans, the BMO, it's called. It's the public comment period was extended for 30 days more. And so the people from American Samoa can participate in several ways. They could, of course, sign the petition that is that we have in our webpage, www.righttodemocracy.us, www.righttodemocracy.us. You will find in there a lot of information of the work we do, but you will find the petition and you can sign the petition. The other thing you can do is do a position statement yourself. Send a letter as a position statement from American Samoa, from your community, to the Bureau, because you still have until August 16 to submit that position. And it could be in the form of a letter opposing or saying how it affects you and your family, everything that is happening. The other thing that the people of American Samoa can do is educate themselves. There is a lot of, there's a lot of talk about this imposition, but a lot of people don't know why it happens. Like, how come is it possible, right, for the government of the U.S. to just give a contract to this private party to mine the oceans of American Samoa, and the American Samoan don't have a say, right? Like, how is this possible? So we just published Building the Understanding series, where they can go in and see a fabulous interview that you, Ken Aiono, did with Charles Alay Lima about the whole history from the beginning, like before the British went to American Samoa. It's pretty long, but it's very enriching. And I am also participating with Neil, trying to bring the discussion to the other territories, but it's about American Samoan history. And you can go in to our webpage, again, www.righttodemocracy.us, to get that course. It's a class. It's a beautiful class that you can go to and learn all the history of why this is happening. And the important about learning about why this is happening, because then you can talk to your communities and you can talk to your leaders of your communities, your chiefs, and you can talk to the young people, so that you can actually be more active, because advocacy works, Ken. And I have to say, advocacy works. The work that the people from American Samoa have done to be able to get these comments in has been amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Eddie. I know you're busy, so I'll just give you some final moments and closing thoughts on
Yes,
the
no, I just want
topic.
I just want to thank you and for the work you do with your program, and also for participating in the cross-territorial coalition. And that I hope this is just the first time of some other conversations with you here in Radio Samoa.
Well, we're going to have Dr. Andrew Patti Ayang next week, and he'll and
an
will
amazing advocate. And he thought he was not going to be an advocate, but he's now an amazing advocate.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ken.
Have good luck with your board meeting today.
Gracias.
Thank you
Gracias,
so much.
adiós.
Yeah. Aloha. Whakailava. Yeah, Samoa, o tātou proklami na, nei fo I Well, if it's a sala, I mga silo, una mo tengi nei, saifo.